commence a debate on the repatriation of the separatist leader. In a parliamentary schedule posted on its website, the date set for the debate is Wednesday, July 7th. According to the document, Lord Alton of Liverpool will be raising the issue at the House of Lords and will query the Nigerian government on the separatist leader's transfer to Nigeria. The British government had said that Kanu, who was traveling with a British passport, was not arrested within the United Kingdom's territory as controversy continued to trail the circumstances and where Kanu was repatriated from. In another development,
by Nigerian security forces in Nairobi. In 2021, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, a British citizen, was abducted by Nigerian security forces in Nairobi, Kenya. Since his detention, he has been subjected to torture and many other unpleasantries. A United Nations Rights Council report released a damning assessment of Nigeria's government's treatment and called for his immediate release. My right honourable friend from Camberwell and Peckham has worked tirelessly on behalf of Mr Kanu and is urging the Foreign Secretary to do more to secure his release. Nigeria is a Commonwealth nation that receives tens of millions in UK aid. It is one of the biggest benefactors of aid. Part of this aid support must be a commitment to human rights and upholding the right to fair trials. Mr Kanu must be given access to a fair and due process. A British citizen travelling on the British passport should not be kidnapped in a third country and dragged to a Nigerian prison. The government needs...
All right, lovers of freedom, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're welcome to this YouTube channel. You know, this is where we break down everything that is happening. That's between the case between the zoo country called Nigeria and our leader Nnamdi, and also the case between the zoo called country called Nigeria and the Finnish government. So this is where we break down all these things for you guys so that you can understand what is actually going on. The trial of Nnamdi, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. You can find all these videos in our previous videos. So you do well to check back our previous videos as you subscribe and react to all these videos on the comment section. Now, look at what Nnamdi said years back that made the UK Parliament to send this strong petition to Nigeria, because they know that Nnamdi is the only person that will destroy them and destroy Nigeria and destroy the zoo country called Nigeria. As it stands now, the Nigerian government are panicking. They don't know whether they will go on with the trial or they will just let them just release this man because they are tired. A lot of petitions are coming in, even from different world organizations. So this is where we will break down all these petitions for you guys so that you can understand what is actually going on. So you can understand why we, the Biafrans, will continue to speak out. We will continue to spread all this information so that the whole world will realize what is actually happening in the zoo country called Nigeria and in Biafraland. So we'll continue to spread this information. We'll continue to make sure that we let the whole world know that the zoo country called Nigeria, the Tinubu government, is gradually sinking. And the only solution to Nigerian problem is division. They know that the release of Nnamdi will bring more liberation and freedom for his people. They know. They know. And funny enough, when Nnamdi will be released, will be same week Mazi Simon Ekpa will be released. So we are a step further. We are a step further to our liberation. And we'll continue to make sure that we get liberated from the zoo country called Nigeria. You can see what is happening. Gradually, the zoo government of Tinubu is sinking. This is just 2 years of his government. He has extra 6 years. Before that 6 years, believe me, so many Fulani herdsmen, so many of them will have their various camps in Biafraland. If we don't stand up and fight, if we don't stand up and disgrace and destroy these people, we are not going into any conventional war with the Nigerian state. All we are saying is we need to discuss our referendum on a round table with this so-called zoo government. Now, let me play you the video of what Nnamdi said that attracted this particular parliament to discuss the Nnamdi case. For the UK Parliament to talk about Nnamdi, for them to talk about the release of Nnamdi, just know that the Biafran government and the Biafran movement is one step ahead of the zoo government called Nigeria. Now let me play you what happened and why the UK Parliament are reacting to the the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to the zoo country called Nigeria. So I will play you this video so that you can analyze it for yourself, and you can even share these opinions on the comment section. Now stay tuned as I play you this video.
A failed state that it is, as a terror-ravaged contraption that it is, as an abomination that it is, how have they managed to keep Nigeria together? Look no further than what happened during the End SARS protest. When I preach all the time and I say to black people that your mental weakness, your inability to reason properly is why you are suffering, they say not. They manage to divide those who are protesting by introducing two key elements they know will appeal to their primordial instincts. What are those? Religion and ethnicity. Let me tell you something you don't understand. That is the only instrument the Europeans had to divide and conquer Africa. What they did was to pass it on to the Fulani Janjaweed. And with the help of the Fulefus and traitors in our midst in the entire South, both Yoruba and in Biafra, both in Oduduwa and in Biafra, it appears that they have managed to now gain the upper hand in the past decades. This continued effort to divide the East, I can assure them tonight, has failed to confer. And I want our people from Igodo from our land to Ogogo to understand this. They come to you, they plead with you to amplify your ethnicity against one another. It's a very clever trick. Whereas over the years, if not since the coming of this Janjaweed Caliphate government of the late dead Buhari, of the late dead Buhari, before now, it was ambiguity and they understand that Hausa is different from Fulani. The same people who, they're like parasites. The same people who over the years, we are trying as much as possible to have this cohesion between Fulani and Hausa together as one political bloc. When they come to our land, they tell you you are Efik, you are Ibibio, you are Izon, you are Ishekiri, you are Urobo, that you are different. You must understand the reason why they keep harping on your differences, which in actual fact doesn't exist because we are all one people, is because it makes it easier for them to conquer you. Common sense. They know that if you go to Migodo, Edo State, of course you do. They know that if they come together with the Shekiri, with Urobo, with his son, with Igbo, with Idoma, with Igala, with Ibanke, everybody, when I say Igbo, I mean Ibanke as well, they know it becomes impossible to penetrate. We become free people. For them to succeed is a very clever ploy, which unfortunately Yoruba media is in support of. And I have warned them repeatedly. I have warned my Yoruba brethren repeatedly that this double game you are playing will consume you. And today they are in Yoruba land killing and taking over their forests. If not for the bravery of Eastern Security Network, I do not think for once that Amotekun would have had the balls, or should I say the courage, to confront Fulani headsmen in their forests. Understand this very cleverly. What they do is very simple. They come to your land as they have done with Hopus or Dema in Imo State. As we understand they have done with George Obiozo this evening. They plant your leaders for you. Your your leaders who cannot rise up to challenge their hegemony. That is where I give Biafraland some credence, or should I say some credit, because they have not allowed themselves to become as divided and damaged as the East is. Can you imagine for 1 second? I ask you to ponder this for a second. A Fulani governor is interested in relocating all Fulanis across the Sahel, Nigeria, so that the Fulanis can have a country they can call their own home. In the East, there is a governor, despite being an Igbo man, speaking Igbo, raised as an Igbo setting, he's saying he's not Igbo. I just want, for one, I don't know how to explain this so that people can understand it. I just want for 1 second for people to sit down and ponder this. It's a very simple, it's not a conundrum, it's very easy to untangle. The person telling you that you are from Niger Delta, the person telling you to accentuate your ethnicity or your tribe, as the case may be, the person telling you that you are not related to an Igbo man, the person telling you that you are not Biafra, the person telling you that Efik is different from even Ibibio is different from Anang. Man telling you this is bringing his brothers and sisters from Senegambia, from Mali, from Niger, as Fulani headsmen, as bandits, as terrorists, to come into our country, into our space, to take it over. You, his counterpart in the East, you are doing your level best to make sure you divide your own people. And when you go to some of these people, they will tell you that divided we fall, united we stand. And that was a very clever thing they did. And that was how they managed to divide us, weakening us and making it easier for them to propose them without election as Imo State governor, and now to plant George Ubiozo as Ohaneze president. I'll get to that later on. Britain knew that the light of Africa will come from the land of Biafra. They all knew it all over the world. As I told you earlier, 2 years ago, I told you that I was at a meeting with UN officials in Geneva, and one of them said to me, it is not that we don't talk about Biafra or want our member states or nations to understand what is going on in the land of Biafra, but as soon as we mention the word Biafra, they all get up and walk away from the room. I announced it here live on this very platform, Biafra. Some of you didn't actually absorb it. Some of you don't know the obstacle that Biafra is facing. You think Biafra is easy to get. No, it is not. No, not at all. The enemies we have outside is uncountable. Not because we have done anything wrong, but because Britain realized that with Biafra existing as a free nation, that every black person around the world will become free. They understand that. It's just like when you go to a stream and you don't want people to drink the water coming from that very stream. You go to the source of the water and you pollute it. Because if you come downstream and you pollute it, people can still go to the middle or even to the front to go and fetch clean water. So if you don't want people to drink from a particular stream, you pollute it from the source. They know that the source of freedom for black people, both those in North America, those in South America, those even in Papua New Guinea, those everywhere around the world, they know that Biafra is the key. A free Biafra means that black people all over the world will become free. That was why I said that Biafra is the last miracle. I want you to understand this. All of these obstacles cannot stop us from getting Biafra. It cannot. Instead, it emboldens us. Because the more difficult the process of emancipation, the more enjoyable the outcome when finally freedom comes. If we don't do something, I'm telling everybody, both those in the Middle Belt, those in Biafraland, go and write down everything I have said in the past. Try and compare it to what is happening now. You see that we have always been right. If we do not act now, we will become more fragmented. They will conquer us and extinguish us from the face of the earth. As I told you, the Hausa race no longer exists, only by language. Hausa people have nothing now as we speak. They have nothing, only their language. Hausa people no longer have any discernible political system. They have no hold over their future or their lives. They can answer Malam all they like, but their traditional rulers forever and ever will remain an emir. And an emir is a Fulani. In other words, apart from the language, it has now dawned on them. That is why Fulani have now taken to the front seat. And you cannot hear Hausa people even complaining. They know they are finished. They know they are gone. How did they succeed in doing this? Even before the white man came, the Fulani succeeded in dividing the Hausa peasants from their kings, deceived them, took Sokoto from them, and the rest of Hausa land. The only place they couldn't take is present-day Borno, and you can see how they're fighting tooth and nail to take it. Kanu Borno said no, and they are fighting, and they are free, of course, to a limited extent. That is what we all need to do. Therefore, anybody who comes to you to preach one Nigeria, you must go back to educate that very fool. I keep saying it. Anybody who believes in one Nigeria cannot be regarded as an educated person. For the very simple reason, I wrote this a few days ago. You cannot claim to be equal to a white man. A white man can come to Africa to create a country for you, black people in Africa, which means that all of you are incapable of creating a country for yourselves. That is what it means. You have surrendered your future to them. That's number one, for those who believe in one Nigeria. Number two, if you have any self-worth, any self-respect, any regard for human dignity, there is no way you will allow somebody to come all the way from Europe to build a country for you in Africa. I give you a very simple example. There is a place called India. I'm sure that some of you know that India used to be comprised of, I think it's Bangladesh, India itself, Pakistan, Kashmir, and is it Bengal? But this is how human beings reason. And the selfishness you have in the Nigerian political system today did not start today. It started from Azikiwe, Awolowo, and Tafawa Balewa, or should I say Ahmadu Bello. It didn't start today, selfishness. Why do I say selfishness? Because in India, where you have people, or should I say leaders that loved their people, what did they do? What did they do, I ask you? Upon Britain leaving India, they came together and said, we are not compatible. India, you are predominantly Hindu people. We in Pakistan, we are predominantly Muslims. There is no way we can coexist in the same country. So they sat down and decided to partition upon independence. Any sensible being, which we thought that Dr. Zikiwe was, should have realized, because the Sadwana of Sokoto told him, Ahmadu Bello told him that we are incompatible. Awolowo said the same thing, that Nigeria is a contraption. You cannot force people to be together. They all knew that Nigeria was unworkable in 1957, 58, 59, 19. They all knew. Exactly with what is happening today, despite knowing that Nigeria was unworkable, because they are going to answer president, the prime minister, they will have beautiful houses in Ikoyi, in VI, they will be lording it over other people. They decided, out of expediency, to go for the rubbish that Britain created for them. And today, is India doing well? Pakistan that is now offering to come and help the zoo to fight insurgency. I hope all of you can understand all of this. I hope you're following what I'm saying. Because in Africa, you people are not human beings. The white people, they see you, or should I say, they see you as animals. Forget all the pretense. Africa, you're part of Commonwealth. You are not. They don't have any regard for you. Do you know why? Because they created you. They made you who you are. If as a man or a woman, you're grown up, you're intelligent enough, you cannot build a country for yourself, you have to wait for a European to come all the way from Europe to build countries for you in Africa, that means you're an idiot. There is no difference between you and an animal. Absolutely no difference. It's not an insult. I'm just trying to make you... Now, put yourself in, should I say, in the position of those who are reasonable or sensible enough. Do you think that as a black man from Africa, you can go to Europe, you can go to Germany and create a country for them? Can you do it? Of course, the answer is no. If you cannot do it, then why did you allow them to come to Africa to create a country for you? After creating this country for you, half of Yoruba land is in Benin Republic. The other half is in Nigeria. One is French, one is English. And people don't feel ashamed of themselves. There is no pride, there is no shame. People are not ashamed of themselves. We are Africans and we are black people for that matter. So by nature, we are ethnocentric. We are very tribal by nature. We are not Europeans.